收看本期的恐怖视频合集，今天给大家带来18段恐怖视频教育难，我们现在开始。
Number 1.
OK 啊，
In the town of
恐
Bel
怖
Air,
视频合集
Ohio,
我们又
stands
来
a
了。
home locals whisper about as one of the most haunted places in the area. Known as the Ross House, it was built in 1895 when Bel Air was thriving as a steel and railroad town. Over the decades, it served multiple purposes. Once a private home, an antique store, and now a destination for paranormal investigators. Many believe the intense activity traces back to a former owner who allegedly held seances inside the home during the 1920s and 30s. Locals claim that after her death, whatever she may have contacted never truly left. A YouTuber named Natalie Hopkins said he stayed on this house and ventured inside with a few friends. With cameras and paranormal equipment in hand, they were optimistic about the night. But when they bravely headed downstairs to the basement, things took a terrifying turn.
Could you give us a sign if anyone is here? Maybe one of the balls, light them up. Could you give us a sign if anyone is here? Maybe one of the balls, light them up, move them.
I felt like something touched my shirt, but I don't know.
Well, I kept feeling like a graze, like a...
While the group sat in the basement asking questions, Natalie was off to the left when something unsettling happened. The back of her shirt suddenly appeared to lift and pull backward, almost as if an invisible hand had gently grabbed hold of it. The fabric rose up and tugged back in a way that looked unmistakably intentional. Natalie felt it immediately and reached behind her, but there was no one there. Chillingly, this all happened just moments after someone in the group asked, "Could you give us a sign if anyone is here?" Natalie's not sure what to believe, but if you ask me, something definitely had a hold of her shirt. Number 2. According to TikTok user United Warhouse, a friend of his named Joe started hearing strange, unsettling noises coming from his basement. At first he brushed it off, assuming it was just a raccoon or some other small animal that had found its way inside. But when the sounds didn't stop, he decided to install a small camera downstairs to finally pinpoint the source. And one day the noises started again, and when he headed downstairs to grab the camera, something happened that made the hair on the back of his neck immediately stand on end.
I know there's a lot of people that don't believe in ghosts, and that includes me. Alright, so this video was taken about 4 years ago, okay? And I'm not gonna say whose video this is, but trust me, this person is just like me. Like, we don't believe.
所以这个东西
he kept hearing weird noises happening.
是他那个不知道从哪里搞来是吧
At first he thought it was like a raccoon in his basement making noises. Must have been stuck in there or something.
我说实话，真不知道幻影室发生什么声音。
Put the camera down there to see if he could see what's making the noise. So he ends up putting the camera downstairs, and this is what he catches. This video right here, this is bananas. And it is the most important evidence to poltergeist, I believe, in history when it comes to actual
这个世界上最真实的这个什么吵闹伪证据吗？
Okay, box falls. Ain't nothing big. Ain't nothing serious. I don't know what's in that box, and I don't know what it's on, but it falls. Okay, it ain't a big deal, right? Not a big deal, and I understand it's not.
没声音。
It looked like there's a little tension going on that box. Look at that. You see that? How it's tilting? It just snapped into place like that. Watch, it gets worse. That box is shaped like a diamond now. It is on the corner of the box.
就感觉它是受到挤压是吧？是这意思吧？
You tell me how a box moves like that. It's impossible to make a box move like that. That's bananas. Let's run it back one more time and watch the stuff on the table now. Okay? Watch all this stuff on the table.
所以这个视频应该是来自于这个国外的小抖啊。
How many items just moved at once? 1, 2, 3, like 4 items on the table moves at once. Do they all go in on itself? Bro, they all kind of went in on itself.
自己动
They got like closer together. But the most important, which I'm mad because it cuts out at the last second. So this is what happens. My friend Joe hears this. He's hearing stuff happening downstairs, okay? So he's like, okay, let me go downstairs and grab the camera so I can see what it is. And at this time, he's not thinking ghosts. He's thinking of a animal in his basement, probably running around trying to figure out a way to escape. See, here he comes. He's coming downstairs. He was telling me it was mad weird. Right when he got down, like halfway down the stairs, he said like he felt something. He felt mad weird going downstairs. Like he was like, there's something wrong. So when he came downstairs to touch the camera, now what you guys want to do is look at the table again. Ooh. Did you see that? Everything flew off the table. It happened so fast, but you can see it. You can see like this is obviously not there no more. It is not there no more. It flew off the table. And he said he heard it. He heard a big crash behind him and ran for his life back upstairs. Like, this is insane. Look, he's f***ing off it. But all my life, all his life, we're like, you know, we were close our whole lives. We never expect there to be ghosts. We were kids trying to find ghosts at one time and never found ghosts. But like by the time we're in our 20s, bro, ghosts, like you're a loser if you think ghosts are real. And then this happens. Insane, but
crazy.
From boxes moving on their own to objects on a nearby table, it became clear that something in the basement was behind this activity. When the noise grew louder, Joe started down the stairs. But just before he reached the camera, every item on the table suddenly flew off at once. To this day, neither of them can explain what the camera captured. But one thing's for sure, it definitely was not a raccoon. Number 3. For nearly a year, I've been closely following the disturbing experiences of a man named Kyle Anthony. What began as a few unexplained bumps and knocks coming from his attic have since escalated into something far more intense, leaving Kyle constantly on edge in his own home. Disembodied voices now echo through the house, sending chills down his spine. He keeps his phone within reach at all times, ready to capture any strange activity. And lately, these eerie encounters seem to have moved to the crawl space under his house.
这是看过了。啊？是好，那次是出现一个人形吗？这个好像看过了啊。
I just saw something. I just saw something.
啥了呀，哥们儿？我印象当中，好像是他好像把镜头放在这边，然后是一个人形出来。
Okay. Oh.
As he peered into the crawl space, a dark shadow at the end of the narrow path lunged toward him. In a split second, this menacing figure came into view, then ducked back behind the wall. And just moments after it appeared, a faint childlike voice was caught. Catching something like this on camera made his stomach drop, as he now knew that someone or something was lurking beneath his home. And unfortunately for Kyle, this activity didn't stop there.
Dang it, I'm hearing that knocking sound again. There it is. Where is it coming from? Right there, right there. It's coming from this door.
"这个声音看着有点听着有点那什么，怪怪的，像后期加的有时候。不是很立体。
That's where it's been coming from. Somebody's knocking on that, or something is knocking on this freaking door. But there's nobody there, obviously. Well, at least I now know where it's coming from.
Many people in the comments were quick to point out that by opening the door, he may have unknowingly invited something dark into his home. But strangely, over the following weeks, the activity seemed to fade and the house felt eerily quiet. That is until he once again began hearing noises coming from his attic.
Listen to this and tell me if you hear a kid running around inside my attic. You hear that? Things have been quiet for like weeks now, and then all of a sudden it's just a ruckus in the attic, like constant. Listen. Isn't that wild? It sounds like a kid is running around up there. And I promise I do not have a child in my attic. It's just crazy. Yeah, things have been really quiet lately.
Sorry, maybe it
all stopped. That's why I haven't been posting. But I guess we're back with a vengeance in 2026.
The unmistakably clear sound of a child's voice echoed down from the attic. But as far as Kyle knows, he doesn't have any kids. And there definitely should not be any random children hanging out up there. In the days that followed, this voice didn't fade away. Instead, it lingered, growing more and more vocal over time.
有猫！我操，不是，听得不是很明白，这声音来自哪里啊？注意，很空洞，也是。他找不到这个声音的来源。猫倒挺淡定的。
At this point, there's no denying it. What he's been hearing is clearly a child's voice, or possibly something pretending to be a child. But the question is, where the hell is it coming from? Interestingly, commenters pointed out that his cat doesn't seem bothered at all. So, if nothing else, maybe whatever this presence is, it doesn't appear to be
难道说是后期加的吗？我操
Number 4.
除了第一段，其他两段那声音看着是有操作空间的。
But according to Kelsey, for the past few years, she's also been dealing with unsettling activity inside her home. Things that have only intensified since Jensen was born. From gates slamming shut and doors locking on their own to objects mysteriously moving. These occurrences have become impossible to ignore. And one day, as Kelsey and her oldest son Tucker were about to leave the house, her security camera captured something she still can't explain.
小孩回头看啥呀？哦。回头看，好像注意到那个玩具了，是吧？又动了。
As Tucker walked past, he suddenly stopped, as if something had caught his attention. Moments later, the toy dog on the floor began to move on its own. The unexpected movement clearly startled him, and he quickly walked away. He soon returned with his mom, and just as they were about to step out the door, it happened again. Only this time, the toy moved even farther, as if something was actively pushing it. Neither of them were close enough to cause it, and to this day, Kelsey is still searching for an explanation.
没了。
Number 5.
掐头去
A
尾。
woman who goes by Wanderlust Casts Online typically shares
狗拉
small
线原理吗？
glimpses of her
是
everyday
拉线的吗？
life. None of her videos ever had anything to do with the
那就是后续就好
paranormal
了。
until one night when her home security camera captured something deeply unsettling moving in her backyard.
OK。我操，那啥呀？它也不是那种人形拖影啊，这啥东西啊！我操！如果说从家里面走出来，但凡有个高亮手电啊，这东西估计就没影了。但是这个手电啊，必须得比较轻便，笔形手电筒就不错了。正好最近啊，也是新搞一款笔形手电，就是 A-Spin 的 Tag 2AA。Tag 2AA 是有2种型号啊，一款是1600流明的泛光型，另外一款呢是1400流明的远射型。而我这款呢是远射型的手电。因为它灯杯就可以看出来了啊，这是光面杯，然后公益头也不是很激进啊，我感觉可以随身携带啊，然后但是双向报价可以适配棒球帽啊。手电筒的大小呢会比一支笔稍微长那么一点点啊，但是因为它足够细长啊，所以会比较轻便。筒身整体采用是6系铝啊，并且是双开关的设计啊，带战术尾按还有这个侧边按钮。使用的电池呢是1800毫安的14100这个长电池啊。然后不要使用14500的锂电池啊，不然可能会烧坏里面的电子元件啊。然后值得一提的是，这款还做了一个防滚的设计啊，还是有必要，毕竟它比较细长。这款除了标配的手绳数据线以外，还有这个密封圈的替换键啊，甚至呢还给你配了2个灯罩啊。来看一下这款手电的照射效果，通过尾按来开启开关。现在是极亮的1400流明，射程是有304米，光强是有23104啊，还是挺能打的，有的说。侧边按钮也可以实现灯的开关，同时呢可以实现模式的调节。长按侧边按钮呢就可以切换不同的亮度啊，分别是低亮、中亮还有高亮。然后它还有一个超长续航的月光档啊，就是按下尾按的同时，灯处于关闭状态下，长按侧边按钮啊就可以有一个1.5流明的月光档啊，在极端情况下有更长的续航啊，同时有一定的隐蔽性。如果说要切换成日常模式，就是在灯处于关闭状态下按住侧边按钮，然后再按下尾按啊，就可以切换了。然后这款手电筒本身就是带有档位记忆功能啊，按下尾按开关啊，就直接就是先前的档位了，然后在开启状态下，任何档位中双击侧边按钮啊，就可以实现起亮。按3下就可以实现定频爆闪啊，15赫兹的爆闪啊，并不是变频，是15赫兹的定频爆闪。然后来看一下它的灯罩效果啊，这个红色灯罩呢，显然就是作为警示作用的啊，很红啊，很红。然后白色灯罩我感觉更适合当这个露营灯使啊。我们再来看一下这款手电的上身效果，因为这是一款笔形手电筒啊，你可以发现这个在身上真的就像一支笔一样，还是挺轻便的，有一说一。因为它比较轻便啊，我觉得是可以直接挂在背带上的啊，直接随取随用啊，非常的方便。同样的，也可以挂在腰带上啊，也是挺轻便的。而且呢，还可以兼容2节5号的干电池啊，还是可以的。总之呢，这款手电性能还是不错的啊，可以兼顾到日常还有战术的使用啊。美中不足可能就是没有用到这个破窗珠啊。然后我觉得这款手电的定位呢，可能会更加偏向于日常多一点啊，有一定的战术作用呢，但是还是主要是日常使用啊。因为它的操作啊，还是主要集中在这个侧边按钮多一点啊。假如说你对这款笔形手电感兴趣呢，你可以点击评论区下方的链接啊，进行查看。它要是个人形，它应该是跟那个门差不多长度啊，虽然看是人身高，但是看不出人形啊。很怪，很糊，很怪也很糊啊。
She set it up on her kitchen table, turned off the lights, and lit a few candles, never expecting what would follow. In the days that came after, unsettling activity began to happen around her home. The kitchen sink would turn on by itself. Objects would slide across the counters, and at times, things were violently thrown across the room. Whatever Sylvia had invited in didn't seem to want to leave. Eventually, this haunting activity became so intense that she created a YouTube channel to document everything she was experiencing.
OK， 然后这
Nice and moving.
刀在动啊，他还说。这靠萌萌开始赚视频收益啊，也不是不行。哇哇！
Began to rock back and
它刀
forth
方向倒是
as
挺
the
统一
cabinet
的啊，
slowly opened on its
都
own,
是
followed by pots
面朝
eerily
它的
falling off the stove.
没
And
没有
this
注意到
was
这一点。
only the beginning. From that point on,
都运动
anytime
方向都是
Sylvia
朝着
heard
它的，
movement coming from the
柜子
kitchen,
也是。
she knew she had to start recording immediately.
Put the camera on, guys, because that plate's moving. That plate.
盘子，但是你看不出什么马脚，有人说。
I'm scared to go in the kitchen in case it comes out. It's me. Can you see that? That plate is moving. Oh my god.
Oh!
Just broke that plate.
我操！
Oh my god, guys.
我操，有点不对劲了，有点。
Sylvia hoped that the unsettling activity would fade over time, but instead, it only
OK，
grew more
这个是目前为止
dangerous.
看着最正常的一
Knife
个
is。moving in a minute. That knife's. That knife's moving.
哇哇哇哇哇！我感觉他不去同时合理打吧，因为害怕了。他总不会说这把刀在地上接着动吧？
She stood frozen as the block of knives began to shift on its own. Then, without warning, one of the knives suddenly launched
很
towards
危
her.
险啊！
In that moment,
很危
the
险，很危险。
activity took a terrifying turn, because whatever was causing it could now seriously hurt her.
是的。
Fast forward to 2025,
该搬家了。
5 years after the haunting first began, and Sylvia is still living with the same dark presence
还住
inside
呢。
her home.
Guys, I heard the kettle going. Guys, I've just heard the kettle going on itself. I didn't put it on. Let's put it in the kitchen. Put the kettle on.
他这种萌萌会不
Put
会
it in the kitchen.
引
What are you
起
trying
火
to
灾啊？
tell
我
me?
操！
Why did you do that? Why did you put the kettle on? Why did you put the kettle on? Oh my god, guys. Oh, get out of my kitchen. Get out of my house. Let's put it in the kitchen. I'm fed up with this now.
She's clearly fed up with the non-stop poltergeist activity in her home. And even after all this time, she's still just as scared as she was on day one. It's safe to say that if I had an uninvited guest hanging around my house for years, I'd be
感觉他应该
losing my mind
要是不
and
不好搬的话，
absolutely charging it rent.
应该得去那个请个专业人士啊。
Now this next video doesn't
想办法。
exactly involve ghosts, but it may show something just as unsettling. Late one night, a man named Cody was out on a farm in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by total darkness and lit only by his phone. That's when he looked up and caught a glimpse of something truly bizarre.
是看见不明飞行物了吗？
Come again. Do it again.
啥呀？
Oh my god, what was it?
哦，他这个好像我网上见过啊，这个现象，好像并非超自然现象，有人说，但是是非自然现象啊，就是人为的啊。
He stared up at the clouds, hoping to catch
他
another glimpse
他当天
of
那个
what he
天气
saw.
云层是很低
Then
的，
suddenly, 2
好像说是，就是因为有这个地面灯光加上那个低空的云层啊，所出现这种散射现象，这在我们国家也出现过。我觉得不是 UFO 好吧，不是 UFO。更像是一种非自然现象，有一说一。
The first video we'll be having a look at today comes to us from a TikTok account aptly named The Haunted Phone, as the footage we're about to see revolves around a creepy phone that appears to be haunted. The black phone in real life. The video starts off with the uploader wandering around his house, when all of a sudden the phone begins to ring, all by itself.
哥们儿是拍段子，有一说一。没有插线是吧？电都没插是吧？他自己响了，没有动静啊 ，no sound。
In the second video, the uploader puts the phone outside in a shed. You can see he's taken the phone apart to try and figure out why it's ringing. But even after doing all that, this happens.
Ah? 我操！这也行吗？挺有意思啊，挺有意思。这挺有意思啊。不过他这声音是后期配的，他是真响啊。
Somehow, the phone is still ringing even though there's no power connected to it. It shouldn't be possible, and yet there it is. You can also clearly see the small metal piece moving from side to side, physically ringing the bells. I don't know about you guys, but this really gives me strong black phone vibes. Let's just hope that if the uploader ever answers it, it's not some ghostly spirit on the other end trying to communicate with him. What makes this unsettling to a lot of people is the fact that the ringing isn't just a sound.
这样的
The
吗？
internal striker is
但是
visibly
你
moving
要想
on
在
its
古代可
own,
没有那个
even
电
while
话
the，phone's been taken apart.
是
Some
不
believe
是
this could be
过
an
度解
example
读
of
了？
an object being manipulated by something unseen,
但是
especially
他这个确
considering
实挺有意
phones
思
are
的，他
meant
这
to
个自己
transmit messages.
动这个铃铛啊。
Others
挺有意思。
argue there's likely a more mundane explanation. Old mechanical phones rely on springs and tension, and vibrations, temperature changes, or residual mechanical movement could be enough to trigger the ringing. Skeptics also point out that with short clips, off-camera interference can't be completely ruled out. Either way, seeing a dismantled phone ringing on its own is enough to make most people uneasy, and this one definitely leaves more questions than answers.
挺有意思，挺有意思啊。
Up next, we'll be taking a look at a series of videos from the TikTok user Beard Dude. In particular, 3 different clips where the uploader claims to have experienced some very creepy paranormal activity at his workplace as a gardener in a cemetery.
哦，他目的
At
已
the
经当
start of
园
the
丁吗？
first
我就
video,
逗了，
the uploader is talking to what he believes
我
could
们
be
这好像比较
spirit
少啊，
in the area,
这种职业。
telling it he's seen it moving around. He then asks it to let him know if it's in the room with him by closing the door in front of him. Nothing happens at first, but after a short pause,
I heard you over there. I heard you moving around. Let me know you're here. Close that door.
啊？
Yes, this is your cemetery. I know. I'm just trying to keep it nice for you. Keep it maintained and looking nice. Out of respect.
光天化日之下 ，What the fuck, man?
The second clip shows the uploader wandering around the work site, saying he keeps hearing strange shuffling noises coming from behind a cement mixer. When he goes to check, there's nothing there. But as he continues to look around, something unexpected happens.
So I'm hearing shuffling now. Sounded like it was behind the cement mixer. Fast footsteps or something that was back there. Clearly you can see there's nobody back there. So, I'm not sure what that was. Reach behind there.
哦，锥筒自己穿起来是吧？他应该是插在里面好好的，我感觉。
The third and final video shows the uploader working on a rainy day, just trying to get the job done in peace.
我不知道为什么，我一看到皮条就想到黄石这部美剧啊。
Bad, strange things seem to happen around him, and sure enough.
So let's hope.
多了一辆啊。
Today is not one of those days. There's that thing.
哦，锯子
，Holy，
这挺危险的啊，这挺危险的。
Yeah, that's just great. Hell no.
Seeing objects move on their own in a cemetery is bound to raise a few eyebrows. Some viewers believe the timing and setting point towards something paranormal, especially since the objects appear to be thrown with force rather than simply falling over. The fact it happens more than once in different locations makes it feel less like a coincidence to some. Others think there could be more practical explanations. Loose doors, uneven surfaces, wind, vibrations from nearby equipment, or even slick conditions from the rain could cause objects to shift or fall.
但这个门好像是根据他
also
回
point
应
out
才
the
自己
reactions
关的。
happen off camera, making
总
it
不会说他
difficult
是
to
抓了
rule
个
out
timing 吧？
unseen factors.
也可以这么洗吧。
Whether it's environmental conditions or something far more unsettling, having tools
但是它发生在墓
and
地啊！
seemingly
我操，
tossed around while working alone in
那
a
一切是不是显得
cemetery
就合情合
is
理了？
enough to make anyone uneasy. This next video was uploaded to Capriya Car's YouTube channel all the way back in January of 2013. In the footage, the uploader explains he's in his parents' bedroom along with his cousin Braden, his cousin Benton, and his brother Carsten. He says they've been noticing the rocking chair in the room moving all by itself, but nobody's been believing them. They also mention they're home alone at the time, meaning there's nobody else in the house besides the four of them. It's here where the boys begin talking to what they believe could be a spirit in the room, asking it to move the chair for them. Nothing happens at first, but after a few moments.
Is it moving a little bit?
Oh my gosh, it is. Oh my gosh.
动了一下，你可以看，你可以从镜子那边看出它那个。
Man, that's so creepy. Why do we have to stand here? Oh,
Wait, hold on, wait. Somebody go see if somebody's behind there.
I will. Why do we have to do this? Oh, no one's behind there. Oh,
Let me
gosh.
see. Let me get it on camera.
Oh gosh.
哦，挺有意思啊
Look,，it is moving,
挺有意思，挺有意思。
and nobody's
Oh,
back
I'm so
there.
scared.
And plus, you can see in the mirror, nobody's standing behind there while it's moving.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's slowing down now. Is it gonna do it anymore for us? Nope. Stop.
Although it's slow, the rocking chair does begin to move on its own after several seconds pass. This frightens most of the boys to the point where they run out of the room, shouting about how freaked out they are.
这换到一些纪录
And if
片
you
上
pay
啊，
close attention to the
可能
mirror,
会凑
you
去
can
感
see
应
there's
感
nobody
受温
standing
度
behind the rocking chair.
周边有一些冷
Seeing
空
a
气
chair
存在，
respond after being directly addressed is what really
比周边空
unsettles
气
a lot of
冷
viewers.
一点啊。它可能会
Some
这么
believe
说
this could be an example of a spirit interacting with its surroundings, especially since the movement starts only after the boys ask for a response, and there doesn't appear to be anyone nearby. Others think there could be a more ordinary explanation. The chair could be moved using thin fishing line or string hidden out of frame, something that's difficult to see in older, lower quality footage. Still, whether it's a setup or something unexplained, watching a rocking chair begin to move in an empty room is enough to make just about anyone uncomfortable. Back in June of 2019, a YouTube channel known as Sad Keel 242 uploaded a video showing a maintenance worker working the night shift at a hotel near San Antonio's Riverwalk. Right from the start, you can see just how unsettling the place looks. The hotel's clearly seen better days, and the atmosphere feels cold and dreary, giving the entire location an eerie vibe. We watch as the videographer slowly wanders around one of the rooms, carefully scanning the area, when suddenly...
Oh.
Out of nowhere, several objects begin to move on their own, causing the videographer to stop dead in his tracks. The activity continues for around 10 seconds before the video abruptly cuts off. It's a short and simple clip, but one many viewers still find quite unsettling. Seeing objects shift without warning in a rundown hotel leads some to believe this could be a poltergeist-like presence, especially due to how sudden and aggressive the movement appears. Others argue the entire thing could have been staged. Since we never see what's happening just outside the camera's view, it's possible the objects were pulled or pushed intentionally, with the footage presented as something spontaneous. Either way, witnessing something like this while working alone at night would be enough to rattle anyone, and it could leave behind far more questions than answers.
我感觉拍摄并不是一个最重要的事情。 先跑再说了，好吧。
Over on the Cryptid IQ subreddit, a user by the name of Canid Primate 1577 shared a video that's caught the attention of a lot of people who've come across it. The video shows something very strange taking place in an undisclosed location. While it's hard to tell exactly where it was filmed, it appears to be near some kind of cave or rocky opening. Have a look.
我感觉会不会是 AI 啊？ 啊！我操！
As you can see, the video shows a bizarre-looking creature slowly making its way out of what looks like a entrance.
是拿手机用屏幕录的。
With a lanky build and light-colored, possibly white fur. A lot of viewers believe this could be a sighting of the elusive cryptid known as the Dogman. What's especially interesting is the way the creature moves. As the upload points out, the head movements and unusual gait don't appear perfectly smooth, which some people argue makes it feel less like something digitally generated.
就生成一个 AI 视频，然后再用手机去拍，凑近拍，是不是就看不出？看不到出来了。
AI-generated footage or CGI. Skeptics also point out the clip is short and distant, making it difficult to judge scale, lighting, or fine details. Still, the combination of the setting, the creature's proportions, and the unnatural way it walks is enough to leave many viewers scratching their heads. And without more information,
有点让人摸不着头脑，然后视频就戛然而止了，主要是莫名其妙了。他为什么不接着拍呢？而是只有这一段呢？然后说是因为 AI 只能生成5秒的视频吗？
5078 shared a video to the Paranormal Encounters subreddit showing footage recorded by a security camera inside a department store somewhere in Chile. At first, the store appears quiet and peaceful, but things take a seriously unsettling turn in just a matter of seconds. Be sure to pay close attention to the left-hand side of the screen.
OK， 看着像是一个
A very tall, shadowy figure appears to walk
人
down
啊
a flight of stairs before seemingly vanishing
脱影
into
了
thin air. If this footage is genuine, it's hard not to notice just how tall the figure looks. Far taller than what most people imagine when they think of a ghost. With very little context provided beyond where it was filmed, it's difficult to say what's really
总感觉
happening.
像是监控卡了。
Some viewers believe this could be a genuine apparition caught on CCTV, especially since the figure appears to move naturally through the space before disappearing. Others believe the effect could be caused by a camera glitch. Low frame rate security cameras often struggle with moving objects, especially on staircases or escalators. A person walking downward could partially disappear due to compression, motion smoothing, or frame blending, making it look like they fade out of existence rather than simply leaving.
我感觉好像每期恐怖合集里面都会出一期，就像这种类似监控拖影的情况。
store is enough to unsettle just about anyone, and this clip leaves behind an eerie sense
那
of
确实，它这个
uncertainty.
拖影确实给一种诡异的感觉，好吧。
This next piece of footage comes to us from the UFO subreddit and was shared by a user named CDS456. The video was filmed in Trinity, North Carolina on August 7th, 2025 at around 10:47 p.m. EST. It was recorded on an iPhone 16 Pro Max by a man named George O. Apparently, George sent the clip to the Reddit user because he knows he's fascinated by UFOs. So without further ado, let's take a look at the footage.
Whoa!
Although it's only
Whoa.
8 seconds long, it's a pretty interesting video. We
我操，
see a single
这
white
有意
dot
思啊，这
sitting
有意
in
思
the
啊。
sky for several seconds, seemingly not doing much at all. Then, without warning, the white dot suddenly accelerates out of frame almost
我操，这速
instantly,
度！
leaving George completely awestruck by what he just witnessed, and understandably so. It's definitely not
因为
something
环
you
境很
see
黑，
every
所以
day.
看着有很多噪点啊。
Moments like this are what make some people believe they're looking at something
它高
truly
挺高的，好
anomalous.
像。
The sudden burst of speed appears far beyond what you'd expect from anything
我操，这速
conventional,
度！
especially considering how stationary the object seems beforehand. Others believe the clip could be digitally created.
刚才
While the
那一
movement
段有
looks
点像是那
smooth
个东方
and
法山这个
convincing, some skeptics argue it may be a well-made
特别啊。
CGI effect designed to appear subtle and realistic, especially given how brief the footage is and how little context we're given. Since the upload hasn't come forward with more details, all we really have is what's shown on
就
screen.
是它是从那个 Reddit 上面传出来的，可能可信度稍微高，那么比在小厂可信度稍微高一点啊。
clip that sparks debate.
就是 Reddit 更像是一个讨论平台啊。 然后这个小抖
At a
呢，
home
可
on
能
the
更多类
outskirts
似
of
于一种这
Boswell,
种
Pennsylvania,
博眼球
a
吧。
family woke up
你
to
可以理解
find
为
their
贴吧
trash
跟
cans
小抖的关
completely
系啊。
emptied, with garbage scattered all across their backyard. Living so close to a forested area, nighttime scavengers getting into the trash
更加是
wasn't anything
就是
unusual for them.
Reddit 更加是集中于这个事
Concerned
情的
the
讨论啊。
culprit might be a black bear preparing for winter, the residents decided to check their porch camera to see what might have caused the mess. What their security camera
这是不
captured,
是看过
however,
这一段？
didn't look like a black
Rick 是吧？
bear at all.
我印象中好像是 Rick 探出头来。OK，Rick 啊 ，Rick。卡视角啊，卡视角 ，the fuck dude。
For nearly 2 full minutes, a strange figure can be seen peeking out from behind cover before pulling back again several times. While most of the body stays hidden, what is visible appears lanky, with long limbs and glowing white eyes, giving it the appearance of something similar to what some people refer to as a brush crawler cryptid. It's definitely a chilling video, and seeing something like this lurking around your home late at night is enough to unsettle just about anyone. Some believe this could be footage of an unknown creature, especially considering the strange behavior and eye shine.
这期
Others suggest
Rick
it
出
might
现的
have
有
been
点频繁，好
staged,
吧？
or simply something mundane caught at a bad angle,
这好像
and
在
made
之
it look
前
far
之
more
前那些
unsettling
之
by
前
the
之前我
camera's
录
low
过一期视
light.
频有出现过啊。这一
Either
段
way, it's the kind of video that makes you double check your windows before going to bed. This TikTok video was posted by a user known as Joseph Stalin Loves You, and shows him standing outside in his yard talking about something unsettling he claims to have seen in the trees before he even started filming. He explains he's about to put up a fence for his neighbor, and after what he saw, it can't go up fast enough. As he slowly moves closer, he stops and zooms in on a specific area of the trees. And right about here is where we can see what caught his attention.
You see her? Look at that face. Oh my god. It's right there staring at me. Dude, how scary is that shit?
大怪吗？啊，那是个人吗？
God, dude. What the She's crawling through all this shit, bro.
If you look closely enough, you can make out what appears to be a face peering out from the branches. The figure seems to stare directly at the uploader for several seconds before suddenly ducking out of sight. Not long after, the uploader also posted a still image showing what he claims is the hand belonging to whoever was watching him. That detail makes the situation feel far more real and unsettling. The real question here isn't if someone was there, but who. Was this an elderly neighbor wandering through the trees for some unknown reason, or someone deliberately watching from a hidden spot? If it really was a person standing that close without saying a word, that's honestly more disturbing than anything paranormal. The uploader says he plans to put up a fence as soon as possible, and after seeing this footage, it's hard to blame him. Either way, realizing someone might have been silently watching from the trees is the kind of thing that sticks with you.
他要注意到拍摄者，所以他躲掉了。对。
On November 24th, 2025, a TikTok account known as Black Hills Paranormal shared a piece of home security camera footage captured in the middle of the night inside an otherwise ordinary home. The seconds tick by quietly as everyone in the house sleeps. By all accounts, it looks like a completely normal night, but just moments later, the tone of the video changes entirely. At one point, a strange reflection appears on the surface of the kitchen fridge. Then, only a second or two later, what looks like a ghostly figure can be seen walking through the room before vanishing out of frame. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear any updates were ever shared about what happened afterward. And honestly, if I were living in that house and caught something like this on camera, I'd probably be considering a move pretty fast. What unsettles a lot of viewers is the timing of the events. The reflection appears first, almost like a warning, followed immediately by a figure passing through the room. Some believe this could be an apparition briefly interacting with reflective surfaces before manifesting more clearly. Others think there could be a more ordinary explanation. Reflections from passing headlights, passing shadows, or changes in lighting can sometimes appear distorted on glossy surfaces like refrigerators. Combined with low-light camera processing, this can create the illusion of a figure moving through the room when nothing unusual is actually happening. Still, seeing something like this unfold while everyone's asleep is enough to make anyone uneasy. And without more information, it's hard not to wonder what else that camera may have caught.
最后一段吗？
This final entry comes from Reddit user Lower Boysenberry50, who shared a photo to the Paranormal Encounter subreddit, and it's one many viewers say is enough to make you lose sleep. In the post description, the uploader explains his brother was in college in Boston, and was supposedly home alone at the time. While inside the apartment, he suddenly felt a strange presence coming from one of his roommate's bedrooms. He turned around to see what it was, and what he saw stopped him in his tracks. According to the uploader, his brother saw the shadowy outline of a person standing at the end of the hallway. He instinctively snapped a photo, and by the time he looked up again, whatever it was had completely vanished. If you zoom in here, you can see exactly what was captured, and it's genuinely chilling to look at. What makes this case even more unsettling is the fact that it wasn't just a still image. A live photo version was later shared, showing subtle movement in the same spot, moments before and after the picture was taken. To many people, the figure looks far too defined to be explained away as lighting or shadows. The shape appears solid, human, and deliberately positioned at the end of the hallway, which is why some believe this could be a genuine apparition briefly revealing itself. The only real skeptical explanation offered is that the moment was staged, with someone intentionally standing in the hallway during the live photo capture before stepping away. Either way, the idea of turning around and seeing someone standing silently at the end of your hallway is deeply unsettling. Whether this was a deliberate setup or something truly unexplained, it's the kind of image that stays with you long after the screen goes dark.